Hello once again, fellow gaming fans. This is Small Archangel. Thank you for joining me for today's episode of Spirit Animal Survival. Here we are on the deck of our frigate, which, as we have previously discovered, is not much good from a point of view of storing your junk. Now, I have thinned out the contents of my inventory somewhat by getting rid of a lot of guns. We know where we can get some more if we need them. We just need to go up to the Wiandigo temple again and we'll get an inventory full of the things. However, these boxes here, that's all we got, that and our hotbar, and no storage capacity unless I've missed something on the frigate. This is basically like a mount, only without the inventory capacity that a lot of mounts have actually got. And I mean, I think that's a bit remiss in a way. It would be nice if we could store something in here, but I've never found anything other than, you know, the ability to sort of drive it around, which is nice, obviously, but there is no way of putting any furniture, as we already found. No way of putting any boxes or anything, because they stay behind when you leave, which is no use. And yeah, and no inventory capacity either, so we can't store anything on this ship. Hence, it's not going to be any good for a base, because we can't put anything in it whatsoever. So we're going to have to set up a base, and that is what I really want to do. And I want to set one up on this biome. There are other biomes, there are other islands, I would want to sail to those, but with an inventory full of stuff like this, we cannot do that. We have got to get somewhere so we can store things, and then we've got inventory capacity for whatever we might find elsewhere, including the weapons that you apparently pick up when you go to instances. We need the capacity for that as well. So I've been looking in here for the prefab builds that we can make. And it has to be said, what I really, really want to do is make myself a fortress. I'd love to make something with these castle pieces here, these castle walls, these ones here. Yeah, we can do this. We've level 3 and everything. The only trouble is we don't have the space. Having flown around and around and around this biome, this island, I cannot find anywhere that is level enough. Now, before the land update, we did have large land masses, or large areas that have been leveled for the purposes of building, but they are not in this landscape. And flying around, I just haven't found anywhere that's any sort of size at all that we could place anything down. In fact, we'd probably find it difficult just to place down a relatively small prefab without it clipping through the terrain. So I've come to the conclusion the only realistic place to put stuff is on the beach. That is where it's truly level in this game. So that's what we're going to try and do. But we're not going to try with these castle bits, because we need a bigger space for those, really, I think. So maybe if we find a desert biome or somewhere flatter, we'll give those a go. With all these castle houses and things, it's going to look ace. But in the meantime, what I am planning on doing, I did have a few more little buildings and things in my inventory, but I had to thin those out as well, because in my experience, I haven't had great experiences with those anyway, placing them. You either can't place them, you can't destroy them, you can't pick them up, you can't get in them, you can't store anything in them. Not much point, really. They're quite good if you've got a base and you want to clutter it up a bit, but otherwise, no. So, what we want is... Okay, let's just do a search. I was about to say, we'd better make sure it's not in Fortress anyway, it would seem. Oh, I know, it's in Fort. There we go. There it is, Desert Fort. I was about to say, let's just get rid of that. Stop. There we go. I was about to say, when you're in the search box, the hotkeys are not disabled, so you can quite easily, if there's anything with a P in it, you can quite easily pick up what you're standing on, or your half your base, or you can hit T and end up, you know, or Y or Q or R or any of the letters that are assigned to your spirit animals and transform into one. So that's a little niggle as well. But that desert fort is what we want to make. It's level 20, and we need 40 stone blocks. Now, stone block, and I've turned into the bird again. Okay, how many can we actually make? Salt, we have 2. Oh, nuts. Right, we're going to need... Everything's gone all red for some reason. Just hope that doesn't mean I'm taking down... I am taking down... Oh, it's because I'm starving to death and all the rest. So, let me just make sure that I eat something. Here we go. I've spent so long looking for things that, unfortunately... looking for somewhere to build. That I've been pretty much starving to death. Can I eat something, please? There we go. There's an enormous gap in between. And there's not even any munching sounds, so you can't actually tell. If you're drinking, you can hear. Eating, you cannot, so you can't really judge very easily. There we go. Okay, right. So, we're going to need... That is not right. We need to take our pickaxe. We're going to need to hit some rocks to see if we can find... How much salt do we actually need? We need 2 for each one of them, so we're going to need 80 salt. And I've only got 2. So we could potentially end up having to hit an awful lot of rocks to get that. And we're going to have to find some rocks first. So, this is my default choice. This dragon. The Dreadlord's dragon, I believe it is. Dreadlord's mount. This, or the Evil Lords, or whatever it is. This is my favoured approach for searching the countryside because we can see we've got the best view because his head's down there, so he's not in our way. And the undead dragon, we see a lot of the dragon and not very much of the terrain. And the eagle, much as I like it, the sound it makes drives me slightly up the wall. I don't like the sound at all. I've turned the sound down, but unfortunately that reverts back to full... Oh, here's one. 100% again every time I log in, so that I have to click down again. So if ever the sound is a little bit too loud, guys, you know why. It's because it resets itself, and I have to take it back down to 50% again. So... Give me some salt. No, we're getting a lot of salt, a lot of stone. It's very down to RNG. This, there we go. A bit like trying to gather gold to make a spirit totem. You're pretty sure that you're not going to gather any any gold. You'll just gather everything else that you don't want. So we might have to hit quite a few boulders before we get the salt that we need to make what we need. And then once we do manage to make all those blocks and make the fort, we're going to have to find a big enough bit of beach to put it on. I would prefer not to have to place it on beach because everybody knows you don't build a castle on sand. Okay, it's a desert fort, so you kind of do build it on sand, but not on sand on a beach where it's likely to get... See, that's quite a large area there, it might do. Where it's likely to get washed away. So that's just my own personal, view, is that it doesn't seem like an obvious place to build, but here it kind of is the only way. So lots more stone. Please give me some salt. Okay, folks, this is not happening. I have destroyed virtually every stone on the map, and I've got a load of stone, but I've only got 2 salt, because what happened was I got 80 salt, and then I crafted some blocks, but because my inventory was full, it destroyed the blocks, or it just threw them away, or they didn't exist, or... This is a bug, if you ask me. That shouldn't happen. If your inventory's full and you try and craft something, you should get a warning at least saying your inventory's full, that's not going to work. It shouldn't take your ingredients and use them and give you nothing. That shouldn't happen. And I've spent literally 2 in-game days picking up that salt, and it still wasn't going to be enough, because to make these stone blocks, you need 5 salt for 1 stone. Now, why you need salt to make stone blocks anyway, I don't know. A chisel, I would have thought. But that's expensive. And given that you only get salt for about every 10th stone rock that you destroy, that's expensive. It takes a very, very long time to find it. And then... we just throw it all away. It's just gone, just like that. So that's not going to happen. I've got tons of every other kind of material. Eventually, maybe we'll have the ingredients we need to make this fort, but for the moment, we absolutely don't. And that's because we have got a full inventory. So the first thing that we have got to do, I think, is place ourselves some sort of base down. So what we're going to do is we're going to find an area where we've got enough sand that we think, and it is a bit of a risk, but we can pick these things up after all. We are going to find this area where we think we're going to have enough space to place one of these desert forts. They're quite big, but I'm not sure exactly how big until I can build the thing. But I can't build it until I've got the inventory to find the ingredients and craft without just throwing it all away. So maybe here. Maybe here. As I say, if all else fails, we can pick up our structures. We just need to make sure we don't put anything inside anything else, because then we'd have to pick up the structure. We couldn't pick up the structure without destroying all of our provisions as well. So I think this space here is probably going to be large enough. It's pretty big. We're going to have to sort of guess at where we're going to put our player house. Here it is. Let's just turn it around. We've had one of these before. We know these ones work. They're designed to go in the castles anyway. I just don't want it to go, and this is the thing, I can't see my perspective. Yeah, it does clip all the way through there. We don't really want it to clip through there, but we do want there to be some space. I'll put that there. I can pick it up. We do want there to be some space, and we don't really want a load of sand in the back. Exactly, so we need to bring this forwards a little bit because we want enough space behind. Get up. Pick it up. There we go. We want there to be enough space behind for us to place the fortress as well. So let's turn this around again to face us. There we go. And we need to go backwards a little more generously this time. Place it. Have we got sand through the floor this time? No, we haven't. Result, jolly good. Have we got space behind for the... I don't think so, no. Ugh. Okay, so this might not be as big a area as I think it is, given the size of this. But we're just going to have to do something for the time being, because if we don't, we are not making any more progress whatsoever. Third time lucky. Right, that better be far enough. It probably isn't, to be honest, but I don't care anymore. I'm going to just leave it there, because if we bring it forward any further, the down thing's going to be floating. So I'm going to leave it exactly where it is. We can put things on here, but if we do that, of course, then we have to shift all of the chests before we do anything else. So what I'm going to do as a temporary kind of thing, there's a crocodile over there. I've got 8 chests here. These are the kind of chests that we can pick up. And for the moment, I am just going to simply place them here, because we seriously need somewhere to put stuff down. That is our major priority at this juncture. We do anything else. And I'm just going to leave these on the outside for the minute, because we don't want to be in a situation where we have to move everything. I'd rather just be able to move our house. Obviously these are not going to go level either. In an ideal world I'd put these inside the house, and of course inside the fortress structure, but as I say, we're just going to have to do things one at a time here, and then I will just place the others sort of here like this. It doesn't really matter, we just need to be able to put stuff away. There, okay, that is fine for the minute. Okay, and you observe we can pick these up now, and I'm pretty sure that's not picking up my house, that is picking up the chest. Okay, now I think they've got a slightly wonky placement, so oh look, they've got resources in them as well, of course, because that's the chests they are. They're the chests that you get when you put down, when you pick up, sorry, a player-built structure. So this one can contain our logs and our wood. So we've got sticks in there, and we may as well put in some other resources as well. So we'll put in our cotton if we've got some. There we go. We've got another torch. How come I've got 2 torches? That's a bit crazy. I think I'll just dump that because there's not much point. And we put in, let's see, I don't know, I'm just going to keep that one for wood actually. The one next to it, we'll do this as methodically as we can. We're going to put stone in that one. I'm going to put stone in that one, and I'm going to put salt in there as well. Oh, of course this one's got those in as well, so we'll just take those out. There we are. And then this one has also got that, so we'll put all our metals in this one, including ores. Okay, there we go, and we have an anvil here. Now the anvil, and I'm pretty sure anvils can be picked up also, and I'm just going to place that here outside our house. There we go. Open, and if it can't be picked up, well, we'll just leave the wretched thing behind, I don't care. When we move or destroy it or something, we might not be able to destroy it, of course, some items can't be destroyed. And then the only thing that remains is for us to place, not that. Oh, okay, I forgot that 0 doesn't work on the hotbar, so we'll just move that to 9, shall we? We need to, yes, thanks for that. We need to place a totem. Now this is a little more tricky because, of course, we don't know exactly where our fort is going to go, so we have to sort of, oh no, I don't want to do that. We have to sort of guess a little bit where is going to be a good place for this, and I'm not sure if we can actually pick up the totem either. So it's not exactly ideal, and we may have to place more than one totem. It does make for a large area actually, so maybe if I put it here, there we go. It's going to be on the outside probably of our fortress, because the fortress is going to go to here where the water is, I assume, but it's still going to keep the place spawn free. There we are. So now we're going to need to find an awful lot of rocks, basically, and hit an awful lot of rocks in order to be able to make to get the salt we need to make the outside walls of the fortress, and that will keep crockies like this one away. Here we go. But I'm just gonna hunt this croc for some meat. Okay, Karma. When he was trying to attack me, I'm not sure about that one, and I'm not sure if he really had the opportunity to bite me either, so I'm really not sure whether that was karma or what. That's just given me some platforms, I'm not quite sure why, and he hasn't got any meat. All he's got is a small bark fence and a blacksmith shelf. Says it's got storage space. I'm not sure if I believe that, to be honest, because quite a lot of the things you find that say they've got storage space actually haven't got any storage space. But at least he can't attack me now because he's dead. So we've got all our building materials here. We've got food in this one here. And then there's also food in this one here, I think. Yep, there we go. And I think did I put structures in this one? Yes, I did. So that is where I'll put these items there, just as sort of random structures that we may or may not need. And then we could probably do with making ourselves a campfire, so that we can cook things. I have somewhere got sort of two pieces of meat that need cooking so that I can eat them. I'm pretty sure that meat actually has a spoil timer on it. It's just not a visible spoil timer, so you never know when it's going to... Oh, we need some more. You never know when it's going to disappear. My experience, it just vanishes. It just disappears. Usually all at once, which is a little strange as well. Usually, yeah, the whole stack pretty much just disappears within seconds. So, there we go. Okay, that's got that. So I can probably put my stone back in there. It's extremely sort of... Yeah, extremely sort of dark now as well, because I don't actually have any light. I've got a torch, of course, but that's about all. And then, just like everything else, we're just going to put our campfire here. Now, as it happens, we've got 2 salt. Not in there, we haven't. We've got it in here. 2 is all that remains to us. But I've got 2 pieces of meat, and those 2 pieces of meat also need salt. So whenever you cook salt or meat, they need salt. Sorry, fish or meat, they need salt to cook as well. Which is kind of aggravating, considering I need a load of salt for rocks, for cooking blocks, stone blocks, making stone blocks. Okay, here we are. There we go. And I've got... I have got my meat. Where's the meat? It's over here. I'm glad that the fires don't take... there we go. Oh, and we've got some salt there as well. I'm glad the fires don't take fuel, because if they did, that would be a little annoying. So it's bad enough at the moment having to cook all of our meat and fish with salt, which we also need for making stone blocks with, in order to get anywhere. And salt, it seems to be the rarest ingredient in the entire game. It certainly feels that way at the moment. Okay, so this is going to be my dinner. I'm just going to put that back in there, and for the moment I'm going to put this back in there as well. And then there we are. Have I got some salt left? How strange. I managed to do 2 pieces of meat with 1 salt. That remaining precious salt is going to go in here. There we go. And then we're going to need to find some more salt, basically, and possibly some more stone. So I'm going to have to go scouting around for rocks. which means that I need to find out how many rocks there are in our sort of current area, really, in order to be able to go and get them every time I log onto the server, because obviously every time I log on the server we're going to have those rocks are going to respawned in again, so that's helpful, but at the moment I have taken pretty much all of them, so there's not a lot else that I can do. But just before we finish today, yep, my dragon is actually flying. There we go. I'm going to just hit 7 and eat something before I die of starvation, and before the meat has a chance to despawn. And we're going to head for, not the Frozen City. Which of these is it? Not the Dwarf City either. We are going to head for another instance. I'd quite like to see. It's not there. The sewer. No, not the sewer. Sea Titan World Boss. Well, we've seen him before. Oh my, where has it gone to? I know it's around here somewhere. Ah, there it is. The Yennalucy Cave, which is somewhere near to this large stone formation. And we want to discover that so that we know where it is in future. That is if my sort of discovered areas are actually saved, and I think they're not. I think they also reset each time we go to we sort of reload, because this isn't a server, a persistent server. That means that every time I reload, unfortunately it sort of forgets an awful lot of my settings, which is yeah, which means we have to rediscover that each time. I don't know what level this instances, the Yennalucy Werewolf Cave. I don't know what level it is, but I'm guessing it's going to be a tad too high level for me. I'm going to just head in and see. Okay, there's our battle music again. I have a feeling actually I've come in here before, and the first thing I came across was so high level that I backed out hastily. So I'm afraid we're going to be doing that again, because I'm only level 5. There's a spider. But I want to know what level these things actually are. Darkness Spider level 29. Right, level 29. I'm going to die if I try and hit and kill that, aren't I? Because I'm only level 5. But it helps to know what level this instance is so that we know we can come back again. But if we're on our ownio and all of the spiders are going to be around level 30 and possibly more as well, that's a no-no for the time being, definitely. Okay, so that was interesting to know then. Level 29 for the spiders there. Oh, and coming through, I've actually, it would seem, we've respawned a couple of rocks, so I will just hit those while we finish up. But yeah, I would like to do that instance and some other instances as well. But I'm not entirely sure what level we need to be for each of those. Not all of them specify. The sewer is level 30, apparently. The temple says it's level 5. Of course, we've done that. Sea Titan World Boss, there's no levels given there. Frozen City doesn't give any either. The Dwarf City is a trade post, so it might be worth visiting that. The Scorpion King hideout, again, is not giving us any clues there as to its level. So with a lot of these, we're just going to have to poke our noses in to find out, really, unless the information is readily available online. But it's the kind of thing I kind of like to work out for myself, really. And I think I'm probably going to be hitting a lot of rocks before the next episode. So more off-camera grinding for yours truly. I dare say neither one of the rocks that I've just hit is going to give me any salt whatsoever, and indeed it has not. So there you go. That is the reality of the situation, folks. If we want to build this fort, it's going to take an awful lot of rock bashing for me, but I will try and get the salt that we need in order to grind the resources to make this fort in the next episode. And then, as I say, I would like to do some travelling around, and it's going to be a whole lot easier once we've got a base where we can dump things off. We sort of have at the moment, but I would like to build a fort. I would like to that is something that I would like to explore, because this game just affords us so many wonderful building blocks and building opportunities and things. And once we've built the fort, there's all these things that you can put inside it as well. I mean, that's the stone one, but you know, there's all sorts of buildings we could possibly put inside of it, which I would like to do, plus furniture and things. We could make the thing look really, really cool. But yeah, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while and a lot of grinding, I reckon, and some level grinding as well, because at the moment we're not really capable of doing anything very much. So bear with us. We're not that far off our level 6, I don't think, but still, the grinding does not go particularly quickly, and I have not discovered the secret of fast progress in this game, if indeed there is one. So, folks, thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, feel free to leave comments. If you play this game and you feel like I could benefit from some tips, please do give them. They would be gratefully received. And I hope you'll join for the next episode or something else that we've got on the channel. So till the next video, keep gaming, stay happy, and bye-bye for now.